Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would chat with you guys a little bit about something that I always see come up, and it's people try to talk about branched chain amino acids still as if they're situationally useful. And you would think with all the meta-analysis that's come out, everyone realizing that all of the initial research was completely and utterly financially biased. Again, keeping in mind, I would know a lot about that. I'm the person who got sued for pointing it out, right? All that financial bias, and then it turns out they're completely and utterly useless. This is now multiple meta-analysis, okay? But then, you have people who are like, well, they're situationally useful. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, what? Like, where are people getting this? And I'll see it, on forums and fitness groups and comments, people say, oh, they're mostly useless. I guess unless you're a vegan or a vegetarian or you're on a really low protein diet. Where are people getting that from? They do not improve muscle protein synthesis. This was studied. This has already been addressed in the meta-analysis. A lot of people will say that, oh, well, because we get so many of them, if we're on a high protein diet, yeah, they're already covered. No, adding branched chain amino acids without it being a full protein with all the other complementary essential amino acids doesn't do anything. It doesn't matter if you're on a high, a moderate, or a low protein diet. Okay? And we need to be clear on that. And you'll see memes, people keep posting memes on it as if, the meme they always do is they'll show a guy in a swimming pool and it'll say, high protein, 200 grams of protein a day or something down there, high protein. And it'll say BCAAs, and he's pouring water out of a bottle over his head while he's in a swimming pool. But that's not accurate because it's going back to the idea, it's sending false information. Right? We need to be clear on that. If you are going to be evidence-based, that should be an empty bottle. There should be no water in it because the water represents protein. There wouldn't be any water if it was branched chain amino acids because it doesn't do anything for your protein synthesis, and it's not an actual protein. It's a few free amino acids. We need to be clear there. People say, "What do you mean? It should help if you're on a low protein diet or you're a vegan." Well, no, that's not what the meta-analysis showed. The studies that looked at it found compared to placebo, people on lower protein diets, when they added significant amounts of branched chain aminos, like they added a pretty hefty dose of them, what do you think the effect was? Nothing. They didn't help. They did not improve muscle protein synthesis. They didn't improve muscle growth. They didn't improve muscle recovery. They didn't do anything. They are, for all purposes, a useless product. And I think it's still hard for people to grasp that because people got conned so hard by PhDs. But I think what people have to remember, and I want people to think about this. This is what other researchers have said with some of these people. When people with PhDs are associated with supplement companies financially, they're biased. You cannot accept their opinions on these topics because they have a financial interest. They have a personal vested financial interest in you buying these products. Okay, so when they start talking about protein metabolism, protein timing, the BC, any of this stuff, this is a problem. And this has already been demonstrated. We clearly saw this with the branched chain amino acids. These people, once they get involved with the supplement industry, they cannot be trusted when it comes to data that they have a financial bias in. We've already observed it firsthand with the branched chain amino acids. How many of them pimped it? Some of them more than others. A lot of them did. A lot of these people with doctors in their names. I don't even need to narrow any down. You guys can probably think of at least 3 or 4 easily, if not 7 or 8. All right? It turned out to be complete garbage, and the people involved in this knew the research was bad. They knew it deep down. Whether it was fully conscious or not, they knew deep down it was. Okay? So when it comes to stuff like that, you cannot trust them. The branched chain amino acids have shown us this. You cannot trust these people at all when it comes to anything related to supplements. You can't. Their word is of no value because it's been proven that this demographic will lie to make an extra $1 million to you. All right, and it's hard for people to accept that because everyone got conned so hard by so many of the experts. Oh yeah, you got to take these branched chain amino acids. They were the hottest thing. Everyone was buying them 10 years ago. All right, and it's hard for people to grasp that they don't want to accept even today that they all got conned. How many trainers and coaches still, yeah, because you got conned. No one likes to admit that because no one wants to feel dumb. So on some level, people still want to try to imply they're situationally useful because otherwise, why would so many experts have pushed them? Why would everyone have sold them? Why would I have bought them? Okay, people do not want to feel stupid. They do not want to feel foolish. They do not want to feel as if they have been conned, but they did. Right? So the lesson from this is, number one, no, they're not even situationally useful. And I even had someone say in a comment, well, other than medical grade, no, that was studied too. In one of the studies that looked at muscle protein synthesis when they were given medical grade BCAAs intravenously, right there in an IV bag. Okay? Not only did they fail to improve muscle protein synthesis, they actually had a statistically significant loss of muscle protein synthesis. It actually went the other direction. Now, I do not claim to be intelligent enough or educated enough to explain why that is. I mean, I think I could come up with some hypothesis, but it's above my education level and pay grade to really explain that one. So I'm going to leave it alone, other than to say the evidence that we have, the only evidence that we have in that area showed the exact opposite. Not only a lack of benefit, it showed a negative effect. So what then do we say when someone says, well, other than maybe the medical grade, well, in a medical situation, it doesn't seem to be the case. The only data we have shows that it's worse. Not saying we can draw that conclusion off of a single study, but it's not good. All right, so they're not situationally useful. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.